everyone, it's Rita with Everything Homemade, and this is the 15th episode to the series on how to garden. In this particular episode, I'm going to teach you a cool mosquito repellent really quick, as it is mosquito-y here this morning, and then we are going to head into the garden and we are going to weed the entire garden. So you're going to see teamwork at the finest level, and that's how we get things done around here, is teamwork. If you are just joining us for the first time, you can check out the folder at the end of this video. It's called Gardening, and all the videos from the very first one all the way up to this one are there, and this series will continue throughout the summer all the way to harvesting, preparation of bringing all your hard work into the house. So without further ado, we have Grace and Nova here with me, and we are going to apply mosquito repellent the safe and natural way. And there are many herbs that you can do this, but a really simple herb is peppermint. Mosquitoes hate the smell of peppermint. And you can see here, all of this here is peppermint. Basically, we have this entire row here of peppermint. You can kind of see it behind me there. And we harvest it for peppermint tea, but when it is mosquito-y, we use it to deter the mosquitoes. So all you need to do is pick some peppermint, and what you need to do is bruise it. So squish it between your hands, and you might get a little bit of green on your hand, but when you're weeding, you're gonna get dirty anyway. And you basically, I'm smearing it all over my arms where they like to bite, around my hands. Now I'm wearing jeans and I'm taller boots, so I'm not too worried about my exposed legs, but it's really muggy outside, so they're gonna bite. So when I'm done with that, the more you rub it, the more the oils come out. And so I really want to work on my wrists and my arms right here, because that's the place where I'm going to roll up my sleeves a bit when I'm working in the dirt. The other exposed part is my neck here. So basically right here, my neck, my face, my back, that's another really heavily exposed part. It's not cold today, but it's definitely overcast, just enough for the biting mosquitoes to be really bad this morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rub this peppermint all over my neck and the back of my neck as much as I can. And then I'm gonna just put it on my face a bit. It's not gonna hurt your face at all, around my ears a bit. And the mosquitoes don't like it. So we're all gonna just smell like big peppermint plants. I'm gonna just remove my glasses. So now if I have a green tinge on me, you'll know why. But I won't be eaten up by mosquitoes. Okay. Boy, it's smelling good around here. So if it takes longer than an hour or two, we will reapply it. Let's head into the garden. Hey Ryan.
Hi.
So you are working on the bean row, and I know you were working on this last night, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just show them your row that you're working on for a moment. So he has done pretty good. If you remember, there was a lot of weeds in here. So Ryan, what are you doing to make this job not so insanely tedious? How are you weeding?
So first of all, I'm pulling the weeds, so most of the bigger weeds, going through them like this.
And you're making sure you try to get the roots, aren't you?
Yeah, so like that.
Yeah, down a little bit, Ryan, show there. There you go.
And
So do that again, just like that.
So I'm making sure that I'm trying to get the roots like that, because then when I mix them in, they'll have a higher chance of dying.
Okay, so what do you mean by mixing in?
So I'm taking the rake on the edges of the rows especially, and pulling the row down like this, and then really stirring up the dirt like this. which really moves the weeds and starts to kill them. And then in between the beans, I'm taking a spoon and just going nicely in between the beans, just like this, mixing up the dirt there to kill all these. There's really little weeds that are coming up everywhere, so they should go too.
That's right. So you notice that we are utilizing very simple tools. A simple kitchen spoon. I mean, a spoon is crazily effective in weeding. It is amazing because you can use the area where you bite off of the spoon part, or like Orion is doing, you can use the other side, but you're not bending it unless you got really flimsy spoons, but it works really good, doesn't it?
Yes.
It also, you can get more control closer to your plants. So we have what we call garden spoons, and we have 5 or 6 of them. Plus we have those small rakes. Hand rakes work really well in gardening, and we kind of design our rows so we can get in between them with the rakes. So Orion, you keep up the good work. And you guys, you can see the weeds that he has pulled. They're gonna die in the walkway here. And it is easier to control the weeds while they're smaller. And it is important to get the weeds while they're smaller. Otherwise, they will take over. Now, Ryan, you got some, tell them what that is.
This is thistle. Now, if you were to just try and cut it down, it'll still flower if there is any leaves like this. It'll still flower right close to the ground. So because the roots go down like this deep and more, and they sucker everywhere, we don't bother trying to get out all the roots. We go and we grab the thistle like this, and then we just pull it out, which, guess it came out nicely. But as long as you get off the top and then you keep it from flowering, then it does pretty well at keeping them down, because once thistle gets a hold in an area, it's basically impossible to destroy.
That's right. Without a herbicide on it, you can't. And the whole point of gardening is not to eat all the chemicals, right?
Right.
So in this case, we are controlling this thistle in the garden by making sure it can't get past the couple leaf stage, so it's never going to flower and it's never going to spread as much as we can. Like he said, the roots are insanely deep. They can be 2 to 3 feet in depth, and it's just impossible to get out. Even what Orion pulled, that's not its roots, that its stems. Its roots go way deeper, and we can't get it. So we control the weeds by making sure they don't get a hold, and try to minimize them getting to that flowering stage. Okay, Orion, you continue. We're gonna stop by and say hi to Ocean here. So she is working on the corn, aren't you?
Yes, one of my favorite plants in the garden.
That's right. And she is simply utilizing her hands in this case with the corn and going through it. Now, what you do need to do after Ocean is go through with the spoon.
Yep.
And basically work up the soil with the spoon. So she's taking everything big, and any roots that are left over, she's gonna stir with the spoon, basically tilling it up. So that's what she's doing here. So all these weeds that are coming up will get destroyed. So you continue going, Ocean.
Yep.
It's looking good. Ocean, your task is the corn and the peas over there, because the peas really need to have attention to. You can see the weeds there, and they really, I mean, they're not that bad.
No, they're not.
But
and we're not gonna have to be. It's not so tedious as the red beets and carrots, so it'll go quicker.
Yeah.
The peas are big.
So it's not too bad, but it definitely needs to get done. And there's a lot of thistle I see in that walkway, so make sure you grab that.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna leave you with that. So what I'm going to be working on today is the maintenance of these rows right here. So we have the carrots and the red beets, these 4 rows. I'm gonna go over again, and you can see a lot of weeds on the side. They're actually dying because I've been hoeing them, and we've really got a good hold. It's gonna look worse and then it's gonna get better as time goes, but we have really got a hold of the weeds. We're doing really good this year. So Grace, why don't you meet me at the bean row here? So there's a second bean row, and with the last video I talked about some critter or bug or worm or maggot. It has eaten up my beans. Come over here, please, Grace. And what I'm discovering, that I'm pretty sure what we have is called the bean fly maggot, or the maggot of the bean fly. And you can look that up, and it is pretty striking what it can do with damage, and I'm seeing that in the garden. So I'm thinking this year I'm not going to use insecticides. So Grace, you can start weeding those beans on this side here. I'm not going to utilize insecticides. Like I said, the whole point in gardening is to have an organic garden. So there's always got to be an organic solution that is organic. So the biggest thing is that this crazy fly lives in the dirt over winter. So it overwinters in the dirt. And so what we want to do is till the dirt more. So tilling the dirt more basically ruins its habitat. And what I want to do then at the end of this season is get my husband to drop a whole bunch of manure in, till it, and then put the ducks in the garden, and trap them into the garden, basically lock them up and make them live in the garden for like a month, and make them drill into the dirt and get all those maggots out, and hopefully over the years clean up from any pests. And they're really good with cutter worms. I don't see any cutter worm damage, so I think we're really good there. But the ducks will definitely, so make ducks your garden friend if you can, and they are really good. So I'm going to put the ducks more into the garden to try to eliminate that. So Grace, you are going to help me out with this bean row. She's going to pull the weeds, and then we're going to till it again with the spoons. So this is your row. Orion has moved over here. He's doing the tomatoes. All these rows again, same kind of thing. Hand rake and weeding, and we just get down to it. I mean, what happens, you guys, when we just work together? Yell it out.
Quicker. Goes quicker.
That's right. It goes quicker.
Then we get more play because it's all done sooner.
That's right. So they know hard work in the morning means more play in the afternoon. Right?
Yes.
That's exactly it. Okay, and the last little girl that I have here hiding behind the Saskatoon, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
This is Annika, and she's 6, and you're taking care of my butternut squash, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, so you see those weeds beside the stones there that are really close to the butternut squash? Make sure you get those bad weeds. There's lots of hemp nettle there, some chickweeds. So what I want you to do is go grab a spoon, because you're not getting all the roots, and just work the dirt up. Disturb the dirt, okay?
And there's 2 little more sprouts.
And that's right! Look what we discovered. Actually, Grace found these last night, but remember these guys had really hard germination? Well, take a look. There's actually more sprouting. So even after I planted these in, some seeds decided to sprout. So how cool is that? So there's a little lamb's quarter weed right underneath that leaf. There you go. Good job. Now lamb's quarter and chickweed, some of these are really healthy weeds. They're really good in salads. But in the garden, they can be a pest because they take over the garden. So everything needs to be in their own place. Okay?
There's
little things.
Tiny little ones that they can get their whole root.
Yep, that's right. So you just continue on that, and Annika, underneath the rack, you see those weeds there?
Yeah.
Try to get them too, okay? You're doing an awesome job. Okay, so I'm basically gonna film a bit of the garden and just us working away. And we're gonna kind of be all over the place. So we're gonna do weeding, and then we're almost ready to harvest our first bunch of kale. So that will be for another video. I'll show you how to harvest the kale properly so it continues to grow all year round. Are you ready, you guys?
Yeah.
I don't hear you.
Yeah!
Excellent. Let's do this. Everyone, as we continue to weed the garden, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.